You're back on AEW TV. Exciting to see you back, but obviously people are wondering how you did it because you have the broken nose, you were recovering from a broken foot. Uh can you talk about how you got cleared for this match or what brought you back? Uh what made this the right time to come back?
Well, I was on a cross country road trip with my mom and dad, and we started in Seattle, and we're driving across the country because I got, actually had my dad retire with the money that I can make from AEW. So I was like, hey, we're gonna do a cross country road trip. I'm gonna move him down to Georgia, and we're in Montana, which is like 12 hours away from Seattle.
Mhm.
And then I find out that Eddie Kingston can't wrestle at Anarchy in the Arena because he the injury that he had at New Japan. And then I instantly pull over and I was like I got to reach out to Tony Khan and just see if there's a possibility
Mhm.
of me being in this match. And I said, I will do anything to see if I can get cleared. But right then and there, I just started driving back to Seattle because Dynamite was happening in Seattle that Wednesday.
Okay.
So I do a 12-hour drive to Seattle. I'm so tired trying to get clearance as I'm heading there.
Mhm.
And literally, I'm in a boot, a walking boot, as I'm
Mhm.
driving still. And me taking the walking boot off as soon as I get to the building was the first time I'd taken the boot off
Mhm.
the injury. And I put my foot in a shoe for the first time and was like, whoa, all right, let's see what happens. And I literally got clearance right before that Dynamite.
Mhm.
And I don't know how everything was gonna feel because I'm not 100%. Just because I'm cleared doesn't mean I feel great. My foot is still so swollen. My nose still feels insane. Like uh for a while they told me that my nose was like jello. And
Ooh,
if you touch it weird, it will just
it'll
explode.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I'm driving this 12 hours from Montana back to Seattle, the whole time I'm thinking, dude, what are you doing? Why? Why you just enjoy your time off? Finish this road trip with your mom and dad. Just enjoy everything. And I couldn't, I don't know. I felt like I needed to be there. And it's
Yeah.
it's a scary feeling because Anarchy in the Arena also is no joke. And I haven't even really never been in one of those matches mixed with I haven't even trained.
Mhm.
I haven't been in a ring since I got cleared. So it's there's a lot of factors going into this where it's so unpredictable of what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Um, but I felt like it's the perfect time, and being in Seattle, my home state, to return, let's do it. And it all came together really, really quick
Mhm.
because Monday morning I didn't even think that showing up on Dynamite Wednesday was a possibility. And then as soon as I just started driving, and talking to Tony and getting clearance from doctors, it was whoa, this is actually happening. Are
Yeah.
you ready for this? And I'm I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know if I'm ready for this. We'll find out Sunday.
It's almost an appropriate match in some ways, just based on some of the stuff we've seen you do in the ring. But uh, I think you joked about it during the post match promo. You're like, I think I even got knocked out sitting under the ring. So it's like all of these things leading up to you coming back. It's it's kind of crazy that it keeps happening, but also respect for your work ethic.
Yeah, it was crazy because I'm under the ring sitting down. I forgot to lay down. I'm sitting down crisscross applesauce, and then Dax gives Okada the superplex from the top rope, and I'm watching it because there's a little monitor in the ring. All of a sudden, the beam, boom, the beam smashed my head. I'm like, oh my god, there goes my return. Just knocked out under the ring, but no, I felt fine.
Okay.
But I was just tired from driving, because there was no flights out of Bozeman, Montana that would get me there in time. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, got to drive, hit the road and start driving. And
Mhm.
earlier that day before I started driving, I was at Yellowstone National Park for 12 hours. So I didn't get any sleep. I was like, oh, I'm a zombie. So I'm trying to take naps
Mhm.
at the building before I have to do the return. and it's just impossible. And so I was like, man, this is going to be wild.
Yeah, there's hopefully plans to resume the trip once things get settled, I'd imagine.
Oh, you talking about the road trip?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
you
no,
gotta finish.
instantly. No, I did. Literally the next day on Thursday, Thursday morning, I flew right
Oh,
back and met them and continued to finish the road trip.
oh, damn, nice.
Yeah, so that's all done. But it's like,
So this obviously it's a big moment. There's this internal storyline battle going on, but it's also big for your career because you're moving on without Sting. You were with him for such a long time in AEW, and I know you did the Jay White match without him, but this is your first like tag team match, even though it's gonna not stay in the ring. It's not traditional by any means, but it's your first tag team match without Sting. So how are you looking at going back to Darby on his own? Did you talk to Sting about how how the transition back to working as a singles guy was almost as important as how he finished his career?
no, like the thing is, like, I think people forget that I've been a singles act in AEW when I first started, way before Sting got there.
Mhm.
So it was literally just picking up where I left off, and things like, dude, you have nothing to worry about.
Mhm.
Like this is so. That's the whole point of the Mount Everest trip, was to kind of go on a vision quest and remind myself of who I am. But unfortunately, I broke my foot 2 weeks before I was supposed to go to that. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm looking forward to everything. Um, but like I don't think I have anything to worry about per se with Sting like being gone.
Yeah. No, you have TNT title reigns in there. Obviously did a lot on your own, but I definitely feel like just the alliance between you two really, helped both of you in many ways. Like it elevated
Oh,
you to a certain point, but it also uh you know, it kind of helped Sting still be as involved in the wrestling business as he wanted to, maybe even uh got him to do a little more than he thought he could. Like, the first balcony dive he did, you were like, it's like, holy shit, like how's he doing this?
yeah,
So,
no, yeah, no. Like there's a bunch of stuff that like I can't be selfish and be like, stay with me forever, Sting, because the man needs to ride off into the sunset, enjoy life after wrestling, and at the tender age of 64, he gets to do
mhm.
that. But yeah, no, it's awesome. I love the guy, and I still talk to him every week, uh, and it's been an interesting transition since he's been gone, because I've had that Jay White match, and within the first minute of the match, I broke my foot. Finished the match for like an extra 12 minutes, and that was rough. But so I'm still in the transition of life after Sting in a way. So I'm uh I'm not worried about it, but it's going to be interesting to see just the flow of everything.
Yeah. I want to go back to the Mount Everest trip really quick. Obviously, that's an unfortunate setback. I know you said you still plan on doing it next year. Is there anything you learned in the time off since this injury, the foot injury, that could maybe improve the trip up, trying to reach the summit next year?
It's so hard to say because I was so dialed in. Like before I was supposed to go to Everest, I finished all the training programs, and everybody's like, dude, you have exceeded any expectations, like knowing that you had zero mountain experience, like you're so ready for this. So it's like, but more training won't hurt. So but in the time off, I've been able to do a lot of things, but it just the mental pain of sitting and watching the shows and knowing that you can't be on them, that was hard.
Mhm.
So that's why I also feel like I needed to come back so much, because physically, like I'll put myself through anything physically, but mentally, like I like the mental pain is way worse. Just like so,
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, if I have to sacrifice anything on Sunday, let's go for it. Like so. Let's. I don't know. It's good. It's interesting, but I'm definitely excited to do Mount Everest again next year. Like I've already got everything lined up. It's just a matter of just I putting my head down and training and staying healthy and stuff. So it's gonna be fun. But I think everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if this wasn't my year to do it, it wasn't my year to do it. But I definitely am going to do it. I'm not taking this as a sign of being like, oh, maybe I wasn't meant to climb Mount Everest. No, like that's not what this is about. I'm definitely climbing that mountain.
You were working in conjunction with Tony Hawk. The skate park project was one of the beneficiaries for your journey to the summit. Are you still working with him now, even though it's not connected to the trip, or do you have anything you want to promote as far as that working relationship with the skate park project?
Yeah, the skate park project. Right when I broke my foot, I flew down to San Diego, and he did the invert, like that skate trick on my boot.
Yeah.
And we're going to, I know we raised money just based off the commercial that we were able to put on AEW, but me and him are actually going to be selling 8x10s, signed 8x10s of that photo
Oh,
soon.
cool.
I don't know the exact date, but we're going to be selling those photos soon. So all proceeds go to the skate park project. So it's awesome to be a part of, because skateboarding changed my life, and it's the reason I'm here. I know that sounds kind of weird because it's pro wrestling, but it's the skateboarding is the reason I'm here.
Yeah. I saw the picture on your Instagram. So, when it goes on sale, if you want to help out, it's a really cool cause. Tony Hawk's The Skateboard. Man, I'm all out of sorts today. Tony Hawk's The Skate Park Project. There, I got it. Go check that out. They have Instagram stuff out there. Like I said, Darby's photos out there. You hang out with a lot of cool people, I must say that. Like Tony Hawk, Rick Rubin. Does anybody get you starstruck? Is that
Uh,
something?
I don't know. It's weird because I feel like mentally, I feel like I'm on the same like wavelength as them, because like say when I was like back in 2011, I went to Tony Hawk demo,
Mhm,
and I was so nervous to stand in the line and meet him that I just didn't meet him.
mhm,
And then like I was just like, I don't know what to say to him. You're my favorite. Like it's like I don't want to.
mhm,
Like I felt like I had nothing to bring to the table.
mhm,
But the fact that like I feel like I have so much now interesting stuff to bring to the table that it feels like I'm right where I need to be. So it's kind of, in that sense, it's hard to get starstruck. Um, but yeah, no, it's fun. I really like being around these guys, because these are the people I grew up like idolizing. So it's
mhm.
kind of cool that like I've, in that sense, like you're like, oh yeah, that's awesome that you're actually like you're friends with these guys, and so it's like it's all because of AEW and the doors that they open, because it's hard to make these connections when you're just a random indie wrestler wrestling in a bowling alley.
Mhm.
But just like yeah, I just I take nothing for granted. It's been a crazy ride.
Yeah. I have a couple more questions for you. The first one, do you have, like, if you had to pick a match or maybe a couple matches, is there one that you'd say like this is who you're gonna get when you see Darby Allin in an AEW ring? Is there one that comes to mind that really just stands out?
I would say there's a few. I'd say Sting's last match, but then I'd also say any of my matches with Samoa Joe. Just the David Goliath like aspect of things. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's who Darby Allin is. The guy that's like will wrestle anybody, but like just you never know what he's capable of doing,
Mhm.
like that. So those two, like any of those two things, I felt like is a good example of showing who Darby Allin is.
And I feel like Anarchy in the Arena maybe will highlight that again. You're coming back, broken nose, broken foot. Is there a plan like this weekend, or are you just going to kind of figure out what sort of pain you're going to inflict on others as you go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the plan because I haven't been like actually in a ring to train since any of these injuries.
Mhm.
So it's like gonna like see how my body adapts on the fly. And but I definitely have some tricks up my sleeve. I got some shit planned. Like it's gonna be fun. Like dude, Anarchy in the Arena. The last two ones were insane, and
Mhm,
you can't have Darby Allin enter a match and not live up to the hype of So I
mhm.
got some stuff planned. It's just a matter of literally how my body feels when the bell rings.
All right. Well, you have a few more days to hopefully heal up a little bit more than you are now. But anything else you want to plug or promote before we close it out?
Oh man, just stay away from buses.
Oh boy, I needed that. My ribs hurt, but I needed it. Thank you. Uh, AEW Double or Nothing. Obviously, you can check that out Sunday, and best of luck moving forward. I can't wait to see what you do next, man.
Yeah, thank you, Bill.